One.
I'm recording now.
I'm recording now as well.
Let's watch your screen share.
Alright, bring it in full screen.
Brian Fargo presents ShootGunner and Psy doing a Let's Play of Fallout 1. Fallout 1?
This is post commentary because we're lazy.
I don't think it's lazy, I think it's better.
Yeah, okay. So, this is like an hour into the game because I lost.
Who wants to watch the intro every single time?
I know, right?
Intros are usually like the worst part. I find that to be the worst part of replaying a game. It's like, oh hey, we gotta teach you the mechanics of the game that you spent the whole game learning last time. Do those again.
A lot of interesting things actually happen during the intro, which I like. Like, right out of the vault, I got ambushed by praying mantises, and I was terrified I was going to die.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So, this is Ronnie, this little guy, climbing across the desert, and...
One man, one desert. A million possibilities.
Yeah.
Most of them rad scorpions.
This guy gets ambushed a lot.
Well, isn't that just the nature of, like, the game is random encounters, right?
Yeah, but this is like an inordinate number of ambushes, which I kind of like. It makes things at least somewhat interesting.
Is that, like, something you screwed with in the INI?
No, not even. It's just, I think his lock stat is weird. Yeah. This happens a lot. So...
It's very exciting. It's almost like,
I lost a lot of good footage, like being blown up by dynamite because that's how dynamite works.
well, that's a problem that you would have in a video game that you probably wouldn't have much of in real life.
Yeah. I set the timer and then forgot to put it on the ground because Fallout hates you.
Oh, okay. I figured it would be one of those things where, like, in real life you just automatically assume anything that hurts anyone is going to hurt you too, but in video games you have this perfectly reasonable explanation that maybe you don't get hurt by your own weapons.
No, the worst part is it's happened before.
Well, there's just a lot of games. You forget, you know, which ones are different, which ones play by that rule, which ones play by their own rules. Kick that scorpion.
About blowing myself up, and in my panic, forgot to drop the dynamite on the ground.
Okay. That's kind of like when you grab something and 2 hours later you find you're still holding it because you haven't used your left arm for anything in that entire 2 hours.
Yeah. So here's me resting because I'm poisoned.
Okay.
That happens to Ronnie a lot here.
Oh wow, it's daytime. I didn't know that Fallout 1 had day and night cycles.
Yep.
In case it's not clear, I haven't played Fallout 1. I've played 3 in New Vegas.
I strongly recommend it as well.
Well, I'm gonna watch you play it.
That's probably a good idea.
That's sort of like playing it. And I'll probably have picked up on a lot of the things, like don't continue to hold your dynamite after it's lit. The game does not deal with that for you.
Normally in the game I wouldn't have this many supplies this early, but I got a ton of random encounters and drops from that.
Okay. So one thing I'm noticing that seems like a really frustrating thing about this game is you can only see 4 of your inventory items at a time.
But you can scroll easily.
Does it use the mouse wheel?
Yeah, and also a little button on the side.
Oh boy, pressing buttons to scroll, that's like watching an old person use a computer.
So here's this guy, Trader.
And now you can only see like 2.5 of your items at a time?
No, it's a good solid 3.
Yeah, I see that. It's just the lag on the scroll.
I've got a ton of equipment here that I can't sell for a while because no one has enough money or goods to trade for it.
Oh wow. Can't you just trade it for the, like, lightest, most valuable thing?
Like these flares, they're mostly useless, but
Are flares sort of just a way to hold currency in the meantime?
They're good if you have a high throw stat, but I don't, so.
I played this one game on the Super Nintendo called Seventh Saga, I believe. And in that game, there was actually a mechanic where whenever you died in battle, you would lose half of your gold. But you could buy things with the gold that would sort of retain their value, and the bad guys wouldn't steal them when you died. So that was sort of like a useless mechanic, really. But I could easily imagine that being in other games.
Yeah.
Like, you could just fill your inventory up with gemstones that you could sell for exactly what you bought them for.
Excuse me for forgetting you can't click inside buildings to go into them. You have to go outside and then...
Oh boy, interfaces.
Oh, this is just me alt-tabbing to check the time on the video.
Okay. And during this time I see a black screen. Black like
Yeah.
my heart, my soul, etc.
Yeah, here's this doctor. He doesn't do much except make Brad Scorpion into venom.
Well, of course he'd be interested in some rat tails.
In Fallout 2, they're worth a lot more, so I was shocked when they weren't worth much here.
Well, that sounds like it could be, a game design thing. Like, people don't like, that the most abundant things are actually useless. Gamers really like to, collect everything because there's a point to it.
Yeah. So here's me going to this guy to get directions to the Rad Scorpion cave, because Rad Scorpions are attacking this town, and if I kill the Rad Scorpions, I get their friendship and lots of XP.
Now, what I've heard a lot about Fallout 1 is that it's tremendously well written, and I'm wondering now, this is clearly like a small go kill the rats quest. But does it have some interesting motivation or something to it, some kind of writing twist that makes it more than that, or is it just, Fallout does the ordinary thing too, in addition to all the cool things it does?
Pretty much.
So this is an ordinary go kill the mooks.
Yeah. There's a much larger cave system back here, full of Rad Scorpions, but I figured it would be boring to watch me kill Rad Scorpions for a half hour.
I thought that's exactly what we were about to watch.
Oh, that's later on. This is just killing two Rad Scorpions to show some combat. And
Okay.
also because there's a little bit of ammunition in this bottom bit right here.
Approach slowly.
Yeah, reloading uses AP, which is kind of frustrating.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, otherwise you would have infinite ammo before reloading.
Oh, it totally makes sense.
From a game design perspective, there's a certain currency of time that you're either representing in real time or with, action points in a turn-based game. And, reloading takes time, and you have to, strategize about that. It's the game.
Yeah, totally. So here's the cool little alternate solution. You can... Oh, no me saving before accidentally blowing myself up, maybe.
Are we gonna see the death?
No, that was in the lost footage.
Okay.
So here's the dynamite. You have to use it. And then drop it. And then run.
I gotta say, I would never have guessed this is how you use dynamite in a video game.
I know, right?
And does the timer use real seconds, or does it use, some seconds approximated through action points?
It uses real seconds.
So it's turn-based with real-time elements.
It's turn-based only in combat.
Okay. So if you were to use the dynamite in combat against the Rad Scorpions, those 30 seconds would, stretch out to however long it would take to represent them in action points.
Yeah. It is me picking a perk. I figured I'd go with Quick Pockets because being able to access your inventory and that is a lifesaver.
Absolutely, it seems like a standard feature.
It is, this just lets you do it faster.
Okay.
So that was a cool little alternate solution. Instead of going and killing all the rad scorpions, you can just,
blow up a door?
Yeah, blow up the cave and murder them all at once.
How do you know you could do that? Is there like a person who told you that?
I think I heard about it in the guide somewhere.
Things are much
It's
more
just this cool little
settled.
thing.
Razlo has been working on a cure for the rad scorpion poison.
I'm sure there'd have to be some kind of clue for it. Otherwise, like, you'd waste your time trying to blow up every, like, cave you went into. And of course, that wouldn't work. No game is going to have an every cave is blow-upable unless it's Terraria or Minecraft. Oh man, that's an ugly dude. He's got a unibrow and a cleft chin.
Goodbye.
And he's got that moldy clay face.
The claymation's actually really impressed by it.
Well, it's all CGI, it just looks clay.
No, I think they use actual models.
I am fairly certain without even having to look it up. And I'm gonna look it up. Because you gotta have the video showing, but I'm gonna go look it up.
I think I've seen the models somewhere.
Alright, if you Google Fallout Claymation, you get no results that are meaningful.
Because I think I saw a...
If you search Fallout stop motion, you get like some Lego fan films.
I could be wrong here. I'll look it up later. So, the interesting thing is you essentially get no benefit for doing this quest, except for XP, and whatever you get from killing the scorpion.
Okay.
They're just very thankful, and I think they just like you more.
But they don't measure that with a stat, they just like you more.
There's like a reputation thing like in New Vegas.
Can you go like to a screen and check your reputation?
Yeah. I just didn't do that because... Yeah. So right here I'm looking for Tandy, that ugly dude's daughter, who really hates cats.
Okay.
But she is nowhere to be found. I don't know if there's a glitch and she's just not in this game, or if I just was too lazy to actually get around to finding the sprite. But there's a side quest for when you get kidnapped by bandits later on. So I was wondering if maybe I needed to do that. I could talk to her to find the side quest later.
Greetings.
Well,
What may I help? Shady Sands is much like a family.
shouldn't she get kidnapped either way?
The gardens are on. We are small and self-sufficient.
So, on an unrelated note to Fallout, you heard that story, I think it's been going around a little bit on the internet, where someone was reading The Hobbit to their 5-year-old daughter, and their daughter really wanted Bilbo to be a girl. So the parent just complied with this, and felt like this turned out to be a great decision, because making Bilbo into a girl for just her daughter was really creating like a great female protagonist that didn't suffer from any of the things about, needing to make sure that a female character is politically correct or strong or any of those things that, sort of become cliches when people try, very hard to make good female characters. And I found out on Twitter last night that the guy who used to make a webcomic, A Modest Destiny, is pissed about this. He thinks that this is an unnecessary and selfish thing, and wrote about, how feminism is like trying to set an even standard and then punching someone before the starting line. And I was just really disgusted with this, because I've bought that guy's t-shirts. I've given him like $30 to buy merchandise over years.
Huh. That's interesting. I think there is really no difference in The Hobbit if you make Bilbo female or male.
Yeah, I mean, Bilbo was only nominally gendered in the first place.
Yeah.
You could make Bilbo a trans person who doesn't believe in gender, and it would have no impact on the rest of the story.
Yeah. There's very little gender impact in this one. The sequels where it gets, like, there's a lot more interaction with the world and characters that, like, changes based on stats and stuff. Also, this is the beginnings of the drunken wanderings of Ronnie through the desert.
Was he actually drunk, or are you just referring to him as drunk? Because that's how you characterize it.
I just zigzagged back and forth trying to find the next town.
I saw some of the zigzaggy pathfinding earlier, where you go down and you take a few steps to the left and a few steps to the right, and you keep going like that.
Yeah. I knew it was somewhere to the southwest of Shady Sands, but I wasn't sure exactly where I was going, because it's been a long time since I've played this game.
Well, I've never played this game. You seem to be doing an admirable job killing those scorpions.
Yeah, I give you some pretty okay stats, dude. Ronnie's a jolly good fellow.
Oh, why don't you tell me about Ronnie stat-wise? Like, what did you have in mind for him? As a character, as a performer?
He has kind of crappy charisma, but, like, really good combat stats and decent intelligence. I probably should have flashed the character screen on there for a second.
Oh.
But I didn't do that.
Oh, whatever. If he was a film character, what would you compare him to? Who would you compare him to?
Probably like a... Have you seen Shoot 'em Up with Clive Owen?
No, but I'm sure people in the audience have.
He's pretty much that guy.
Isn't Clive Owen kind of sexy, though?
Yeah, but I wouldn't call him charismatic.
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's possible to be beautiful and not charismatic in the least. I've definitely met people like that.
Yeah, he has a low charisma stat that gives him the good-natured perk. So he's good at talking to people, he just isn't very charismatic.
Oh, so maybe he's like a really buff Michael Cera, then?
That explains a lot.
Like, he's probably distinctly awkward, but people are like, oh, aren't you sweet, even with your huge muscles and your scorpion-killing blood?
Yeah, I can see that in Ronnie. Here's me wandering more, finding the edge of the map.
What is the edge of the map explained as in the fiction of Fallout?
In Fallout 2 is the Pacific Ocean. And then in Fallout 2, it's just the edge of the map. So, in every other direction.
So there's no in-fiction reason why you're not going that far. It's just the game says this is what you have.
You sort of have a distinct area you're looking for stuff in. Like, you're looking... In Fallout 2, you're trying to find the vault from the first game.
Because it's got the Gek in it, right? Because it's got the Gek in it, right? The Garden of Eden creation kit? So what are you looking for in the first Fallout?
You're trying to find a water chip. So, make that vault water work again. Because this is like 100 years in the past from there.
Right, but isn't that a MacGuffin? I haven't actually played the game, but doesn't the game sort of give way to some bigger story, you know, going on beyond your little vault?
Yeah, definitely.
So the reason for a limitation is purely, you know, nominal.
Yeah. There's the little indicator on the left, how much time you have to find the water chip.
Is that measured in time? Like real time, or?
In-game days.
Do you get a game over screen if you run out of them?
Yeah. Here's me checking the time on the video again.
Okay.
So, I found the town of Junktown, a nice little village. It should be back up on the screen in a second.
Is that what Ronnie's standing outside of?
Yes.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty nice place, you know. Big Mad Max style barricade.
I like that they use a lot of corrugated metal. Our Buckminster Fuller would really approve of that.
Everything in this game is made out of corrugated metal.
That's because corrugated metal is an incredible innovation. It lets you get so much structural integrity out of one of the most efficient uses of material possible.
So this is Junktown. I'm trying to find a general store to take off a little side quest. It gives you a lot of stuff.
Was that concrete building back there, or did you pass it?
That's the hospital. I don't really need that for right now. Ronnie's in pretty good shape. He's sprinting across town. Here's the general store. And also, an appearance from an amazing actor.
Help you? The name's Killian Darkwater.
Ron Perlman?
This fine town.
It's Richard Dean Anderson,
Who?
Not much up that way, except
the voice of MacGyver.
Shady Sands.
Oh, wow.
You
And the little creepy man even looks pretty handsome.
Crib was a safe.
Yeah. So, he's the mayor and
Don't
sheriff
feel bad.
and pretty much everything
Ain't the
in this
worst
town.
story I've been told. Well, Junktown's not much,
And
but
he's
it's
a good
home.
natured fella.
Mostly we.
He's got the good-natured perk. He's got the
their troubles for a bit.
Buff Michael Cera
Of
perk.
course, we have our share of
Yeah.
problems.
He's a friendly guy.
From outside, we've had the occasional to-do with the cons.
So I talked to
They've
him
been
for a
pretty
while,
quiet
and
lately.
he's
Inside,
Problems?
the trouble's been from the skulls. And I hear some strange things happening down by the hub, but they haven't
I feel like
told us yet.
that
Knock on my
this place isn't
mother-in-law's
much, but is it home? Is one of the mainstay cliches
Well,
of
travelers tell me there's
RPGs.
a bunch of crazies up north called
Yeah.
the Vipers. Another group of
I can see
yahoos
that.
out east called the cons.
Because every RPG has, like a world that's full of conflict and things to fight. And there are always, people who are just eking out an existence there.
Don't go south.
And they always say,
That'd be
welcome to
progress.
name of town. It isn't much, but it's home.
Climate's bad there, rain or shine.
well, this
You
place is
understand
sort of
what I'm
literal.
saying? Hell, why not?
There really isn't much there.
Ask away.
Well, it's called Junktown, too.
Fine.
Yeah.
It might as well be like Hoboken.
So, here's all his stuff that I'm going to sell a bunch of my stuff for. Like this submachine gun I don't want.
Ooh, that gun looks cool.
Yeah, I'm going to sell for Desert Eagle.
The shiny one? Is that the shiny one on the right?
Yeah. Sell a bunch of my insane bullets. That's some of the stuff I got from all the loot drops I got really.
In an actual post-apocalyptic scenario, how do you think people would be getting bullets hundreds of years on? Would they be making them?
The Metro series goes into that. Even though it's only 20 years after the apocalypse.
Well, I feel like bullets would run out pretty fast.
Probably, but there's a lot of bullets in the world.
True. But there are also a lot of people in the world, even in a post-apocalyptic scenario.
Yeah, so Metro just went with, they're building them.
Okay. Didn't Metro also have a mechanic where certain special bullets that you don't actually get to use are currency?
Yeah, those are the pre-World War III bullets.
Hmm.
Okay, so here's this guy who's really hated MacGyver.
Does he want you to kill MacGyver? Take over Junktown for him?
Yeah. No, this is an assassin sent by the local mafioso, who walks into the general store with like 5 dudes in it with a hunting rifle and decides to murder someone. This is like the worst plan ever.
It doesn't seem like that bad. You got 5 dudes backing you up. You got a hunting rifle. People are weak against rifle. Oh, those are the town guards. Okay.
Listen, thanks for saving my life. It's a mighty brave thing to do. Now, it looks like we've got ourselves a situation here.
You didn't plan this
I know
out very well
Gizmo's
at all.
behind this, but I need proof.
Well, that's why it's a beginner's quest in the game.
Yeah.
If I
Later
get
in the
close to
game, I
people
suppose
that
you
don't
get
plan on
to
kicking
fight
me
against
out.
people who planned out
The way
their
I figure
attacks
it,
better.
need to either plant a bug at his place or wear a wire and get him to confess to you.
So
Conveniently, you are a more
I'm
planned
not
out
gonna
attack
lie to you.
by then.
Yeah.
It will be dangerous.
So Richard Dean Anderson
Follow
here
lead.
is hiring us
Killian
to go in
Darkwater
and
always pays his
get
dues.
evidence with
I tell
which
you
he
what,
can
anything in the store, even the most expensive,
pin
it's
the
yours.
mafioso
No
who just
charge.
tried to murder
If it's a gun, I'll give you all the ammo you can
or have
carry.
him murdered.
Does that sound
Mhm.
fair?
I'm surprised you need evidence in a
Finally,
post-apocalyptic future.
here's the
Well,
bug in
he's
the
trying
wire
to keep
pack.
law and order
Let me know when it's
in
done.
place.
But
And good
he
luck.
saw someone come and attack him, you know?
Yeah.
He's got like 6 witnesses to that. Is that not evidence?
The guy could just be some crazy using the other guy as an alibi for just.
Ooh, that makes sense. I hadn't considered that.
So yeah, that's where I left it off.
That's the end of our first Let's Play?
Yeah, that's the end of the rounding so far.
Wow, time went by fast.
Yeah, that was almost 25 minutes of beautiful footage.
Cool.
Yeah.